crap.
All right, so the problem as I see it is that our political parties failed this past election. We saw that one was hijacked by a demagogue, and so that the other one was surprisingly unable to defeat him. I think we also see that our political parties have a sort of Byzantine and opaque process. I could probably ask all of you, what is the process of electing the DNC chair, and who is in the DNC, and how does someone get on the primary party ballot? And you probably wouldn't know. Anyone want to tell me? I don't know. I would love to know.
I have no idea.
No idea. I briefly looked into it. The DNC has a bunch of members. So it starts off with the head of each state party, but you didn't go deeper. How does that person get elected? But didn't go that deep. Point being, it's complicated. I think if we can make this process, this sort of pre-primary process, more transparent and more democratic, we could perhaps, one, have a more engaged populace. People feel like they had a say in who gets on the ballot, more like they actually turn out and vote on election day. People feel that they have very little power in determining who makes it onto the primary ballot, because they really don't, unless you're sort of willing to spend the time to actually get into and work with the party. Many of us just don't have the time for that. We don't have that sort of connection. So today, again, designing a sort of digital election pipeline. The goal being to make this, one, fully transparent, as well as a very sort of low entrance cost that anyone, if you want to run, can run. It should be sort of digital grassroots. So if you want to run, you sort of post online, and we'll have people who vote on you. And then, first problem being with this very large pool, we need to find ways to decrease this pool. We need to find ways to vote and select. So today decided upon a sort of multi-round selection process whereby each person will we start with a pool of 1,000 people, and then first round break this into a small random subsets of 10, and each voter can then vote within those subsets using ranked voting, which we think is perhaps better than winner takes all. And through a few rounds of this, we should be able to select a small number, perhaps just one person, and then from there, work to get this person on the Democratic Party ballot.
Can you fill us in on rank voting, just in case?
Do you want to show that? I thought that little graphic you had was pretty helpful in explaining that.
It's on that notebook. Yeah. All right. So janky.
Let me just take a picture.
All right, here we go. So here's a diagram I drew. On the right side, I'm trying to symbolize the pre-primary selection process as we have it now. It's shaded in dark because it's opaque. We don't really know what's happening there. We don't have much of a say. On the right side, I've drawn what I imagine could be another way to select these candidates pre-primary. So we have a very large selection, a very large population of people who could perhaps pay some small fee, perhaps have some requirement for how many people support they need before they can get in. But once we get there, then the first round, each person who's voting will have, say, 10 people and will vote via ranked voting. How that works is instead of choosing one person out of the set of candidates, you rank them all. So perhaps you would say Hillary Clinton is number 1, Bernie Sanders is number 2. This allows a way to vote for your favorite person while not throwing away your vote if you really want to vote for a third-party candidate. So let's see. So that's where we got today. The goal would be to get real candidates on real ballots. It'd be exciting to get this on a national ballot, but realistically, there's certainly a network building problem here. We won't get enough people on this platform. It's not going to work. We have to get enough people so it has value. So it's much more realistic to get something on a California ballot. One, given that we all live here. Two, given that this has a higher penetration of technology. It gets into the problem of perhaps certain bias in a system like this, which is certainly a problem we'll have to deal with, but it will be as accessible as we can design it to be, and people can get on. Tight security.
Gotta keep it a lock.
So the next thing, and this is going to take a while. This is a big project. We have 2.5 years, at least until the next 2020 election. We could speed it up. We can maybe get something 2 years.
You mean the primary for the 2020?
Yeah, primary for 2020.
What about midterm?
Midterms may do. So the next action is to find the best method of preventing Sybil attacks. Sybil attacks, it's a term for the problem of, on the internet, you don't know if one account corresponds to one human. So, if this process began working, we'd have the threat of a Republican organization, perhaps, which maybe try to infiltrate it with their own sort of voters and choose candidates that would not win. Perhaps the incentives wouldn't really be there for them because this candidate is not going to, win the primary. They're only going to get onto the primary ballot. So they choose a poor candidate here, so have other options. But nonetheless, we have to prevent ways of adversarial opponents choosing or creating accounts easily. And the question is it right? The intent here is good. We want to make the political party process more transparent, more democratic. The hypothesis is that this will lead to higher quality and more electable candidates. That remains to be proven. I think this certainly might lead to more electable, but as we see, electable candidates are not always high quality. So this may make things worse, but probably make things better. That is all.
Oh.